really, come on, I'm standing on the stage because I want to award some people some awards and, you know, hand out some money tonight, some medals, so I need a little better than that. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Alright, that's all. As long as Andy Kearns is here, I'm good to go, right? Anyway, I want to welcome everyone. I have a couple of things I want to say, and then we're going to turn it over so we can roll right through this and everybody can get their turn on stage. And I want to welcome everybody for coming to the 16th, whoops, hold on a second, so I don't fall on my head, 16th annual Fairchild Challenge Award Ceremony for high school students. 16 years. You know, for all the parents in the room that don't quite understand what the Fairchild Challenge is, let me just give you a brief explanation. So the Fairchild Challenge is a multidisciplinary environmental science competition. And the idea is that it's designed to engage students from pre-K all the way through 12th grade in activities designed to complement and enhance their school curriculum. And really it's an opportunity for kids to shine, for schools to showcase their hard work and effort, and for teachers to really be able to have different projects to go along with the curriculum that they're required to teach. So really we want to showcase that. And this year, so the challenges, each challenge is an activity that spans a certain amount of time that has a product at the end. And this year's challenges for high school were quite unique and quite wonderful and very complex and very much able to augment the work that you guys are doing in your school. So let me just give you a couple examples of the things that we did this year. This year, the challenges included in all of the programs a partnership with NASA to test edible plant varieties for long-distance space travel. And let me just tell you, this year, the research that your students did and presented to the scientists from Kennedy Space Center and the administrators from NASA has yielded plant varieties that are now being ground tested for long-distance space travel. And what that means is by the end of the year, at least one of those varieties, based on the research that the students in this room and throughout Miami-Dade did, is allow them to choose a variety that will fly on the International Space Station before the end of the year. Pretty exciting. And I apologize for the notes, but there's so much going on and there's so much to talk about. The challenges this year help to restore endangered orchids that were once found in South Florida and restore them back into the community. We've allowed students to identify native and non-native lizards for our partners at University of Miami and at Florida International University and the University of Rhode Island. Track biodiversity on the schoolyards for the Nature Conservancy. Design original flowers that have real-world characteristics so that they can understand the anatomy of plants. Create recipes for astronauts and teach people how Florida's landscape is changing. And those are just a few of the things that we did. But before we go on to see who's won today, I want to recognize a few groups of people. First and foremost, I want to recognize my team. This team of Fairchild Challenge staff members who go above and beyond to make sure that you, the teachers, the students, the parents have every resource, every opportunity to learn and experience, come to the garden, present for people, partner with amazing national and international organizations. So I want to introduce you to them. This is Barbara Martinez Guerrero. This is Stacy Jamie Anderson, and the welcoming committee at the gate was Kiki and Sarah. So give them a big round of applause. People we couldn't do without, for sure. I also want to recognize the teachers in the room. If you're a teacher in the room, raise your hand. I won't make you stand up, you've had a long day. You're sitting in this room for your student to get recognized, it is because of the hard work and effort of these teachers, and I am not lying. These teachers come in on a Saturday for a workshop, like every couple of weeks it seems like. We have a workshop that they have to do. These teachers do their busy schedule and their busy curriculum, and then add this into it. These students do it because of the love of the program, the love of the environment, and the love of your students. So let's give them a huge round of applause. There are some parents in this room. A few parents. It's different at the high school level because most of the kids don't really want to be seen with their parents, or they can get here on their own. They don't need their parents to come. But for those parents that are in the room, and for those of you who have parents at home or people that you love at home, I want you to recognize them and go home and give them a great big hug, or give them a hug here, because the reason that you're here today doing so well is because, and I was talking to somebody earlier about it, is because of your community. And your community starts with your family. And your family are the people that inspire you, that lift you up, that give you the opportunities to do the things that you do. So let's hear it for the parents in this room. See, now I'm going to make myself cry. See, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to make myself cry. I have a son who's a senior. I can't even help it. All these kids in this room. Okay, and then finally, I also want to recognize the students. Now, I'm talking straight to you guys. Listen to me. You guys worked so hard this year. You did so many projects. The Growing Beyond Earth project alone was a lot of extra work, but you did it. You did it because you wanted to, because you were inspired to, I hope, and because you realized how much of an opportunity that you had to be a part of these things, and you wanted to be a part of that community as well. So to you students, congratulations on another amazing year of programming. Now all of the staff who, all of the pieces that are submitted every year, we have thousands and thousands of pieces of projects that are submitted to us. And those are submitted and they are judged by an external panel of judges. Now, my team and I can't possibly judge your work because we love you guys so much. We love all your teachers so much. We know them all by name. We talk to them frequently. We can't possibly judge it fairly. So, we bring in an external panel of judges. Every time it's somebody different, experts from the community, volunteers from the community. I'm not certain there's anyone in this room that is one of our judges, but if you are a judge and have judged panels before, can you raise your hand? James is probably the only one in the back. Yay, James! Yay, James! Yeah, so it's been really great this year. This year we had, where's my remote? Gotta get back to this. This year we had 73 high schools participating in the Fairchild Challenge. All of those schools are on here. All of those schools worked very hard to contribute to this program. Additionally, we had some really amazing other opportunities. You know, I want to take a moment to talk a little, just to take a second and talk about some of the opportunities that high school students had this year in addition. So, this year, okay, so maybe I should go to logistics first. Let me go to logistics first. If you have a telephone with you, everybody take out their telephone. I'm not going to call out whoever that was, but just turn off your telephone for a second. Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Just turn on silent. You know, you can take photos all you want. Smile. Okay. And that's my biggest logistic right now. I'll tell you about the rest of this stuff later. All right, moving on. So let's first start with our summer internship. I just want to recognize this year at Fairchild. Let me flip my page over. All right. Thanks to generous support from the Peacock Foundation, who's supporting it this year, Fairchild was able to offer 6 week's paid summer internship for Fairchild High School students, Fairchild Challenge High School students interested in biology, ecology, molecular evolution. Interns this summer will be given an opportunity to work with our researchers in Fairchild's state-of-the-art laboratories and contribute to real-world botanical studies. This year we had over 50 applicants, not 500. Over 50 applicants, and this year we have our internship recipients, and I'd like to recognize them. If you are here, please stand up. So we have Brandon Lamb from Coral Reef, Kaylee Perez from Matter Lakes Academy, Elena Mishkovsky from Palmer Trinity, Michelle Hung from Coral Reef, Angela Contreras from Mast, Zachary Vong from Ransom Everglades, Jorge Valero from Coral Gables, Jewel Walden from Dorel Academy, Alexandra Zapata from G. Holmes Braddock, Emma Bennett from Mast Academy, and Javante Thull from Miami Palmetto. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Did they stand up? Did I have my back turned and I couldn't see you? Yay! Congratulations to all of our interns. They will be working hard this summer, but they will have a great opportunity that will build their college application and their CV by having an opportunity to work with our researchers in our laboratory. All right, congratulations. All right. Secondly, before we get into the awards for the schools and the individual students, I want to recognize every year for the last 5 years, we've had the opportunity to provide scholarship dollars for students to attend colleges. And so this year, through a generous donation from the Von Jordan Family Foundation, Fairchild is proud to offer the Louis Vaughn Memorial Scholarship to 2 high school seniors who are planning to study biology, ecology, or environmental science. And this year's scholarship recipients for $2,500 towards their college tuition and books and everything is Adrian Parra from Miami Killian and Elizabeth Costello from Miami Springs. If you could please come up. These students have shown, they had to submit not only an application, but letters of recommendations from their teachers. They had to submit their grades. And we are really proud of these 2 students who are going to go on to FIU and the University of Miami. So let's give a big round of applause. All right, well, fantastic. Another big round of applause. I'm going to big mess over here, just knocking stuff off the table. All right, so my logistics, back to my logistics really quickly. Everybody turned off their phones, correct? All right, when your school is called, we're going to try to keep this moving. You're going to come up from your right, go across the stage, grab your award, head back down to the left. You're going to, I'm going to ask that you please, if you're a teacher or a student, you please don't pick up your work until the very end. That's really important. We want everybody to have an opportunity to look at the work that you've done. If your student isn't here, and if you are a representative from that school, you feel free to come on up and get the awards for them, and we'll make sure that they get back to your school. And I think that's it. I'm going to turn it over to, photos. That was the last thing I was supposed to say. Thank you for the reminder. So in order to just keep it moving, we've set up a photo op right outside the door. So when you're done here today, it should still be light out. You can go outside and take your photos. It's a plants and a nice table with a nice tablecloth all set up for you to do your photo op over there. Okay? All right, now without further ado, I'm going to turn over the microphone to Miss Stacy.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We know that you have very busy schedules and very busy lives, and it's the end of the semester, so we really appreciate you guys coming. Plus, we want to recognize you. We want to meet you. Like Amy said, we work so closely with your teachers, so it's always very exciting to see the students and the work that they did and put a face with the entry. So again, thank you guys for coming. That being said, we're actually going to start with the Educator Challenge. So even though I want to meet you guys, we're going to start with your teachers. And you guys probably think that it's just the students doing the work and the teachers bring back their assignments to you, but they actually participate in the challenge as well in our Educator Challenge. So for this year, we had our South Florida natives, and here at Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden, yes, we are a tropical botanic garden, and we have many, many exotic and interesting plants from all over the world, and they're so, so beautiful. But for this challenge, we wanted to focus on some South Florida native plants, or just Florida native plants, and those included the slash pine, the red mangrove, the sable palm, the kunti, the live oak, the Florida butterfly orchid, and the giant leather fern. And so your teachers had to choose from that list of native plants and create a design that would be appropriate for silk screening. And so that means usually just one color, not terribly intricate. And this year we printed them on reusable canvas totes that everyone got a few weekends ago at our teacher forum. So we'll show you that in a moment. But to move on and recognize our teachers who did participate and those who received awards for this challenge, our first award goes to Michael Gray of Carrollton School, the Sacred Heart, for his attention to detail. Come on up, Michael. Yeah, looking at you. You're going to come up over here and you're going to walk that way. So beautiful. So, so beautiful. Just like you. Let's give Michael Gray a round of applause. True artistry. Our next award goes to Frederick Gabriel from Cutler Bay Senior High School for the most imaginative. And in case you couldn't guess, we really liked this so much we use it as the background for our entire PowerPoint. So you will see it endlessly. Come on up. Congratulations, Frederick. Our next award goes to, unfortunately not a high school teacher, but this was the winning design. This was from elementary school. Mara Reynoso Vega from Sylvania Heights Elementary School. You may recognize this design if you're a teacher. Again, this was printed and distributed to all of our teachers who attended the teacher forum. Moving on. Environmental policy proposal. So here in South Florida, we have a number of environmental issues. I don't know if you knew that or not. And we really wanted our high school students to learn how to turn their concerns into community action. And so we had our students, or your children, research these threats that threaten our local ecosystems and our local communities and create a policy proposal that addressed solutions to these issues. So at our judging panel on that day, we even had our county, the Coral Gables commissioner? Yes, someone important. He was there and he read your work and he felt really good about the solutions that you guys were proposing and was really truly impressed by the solutions that you came up with and the problems that you were really bringing to light. And so to get started, we have our special merits. First one going to Leah Rodman and Laura Lopez from Gulliver Academy for orange peels, a simple solution to soil infertility for the most creative. Any representatives from Gulliver? No, that's okay. Our next award goes to Brian Fernandez from iMatter Academy High School for his proposal on revitalizing the Southern Keys cactus hammock through the restoration of key deer populations. Special merit for best critical thinking. Very nice. Oh, that timing. That's impeccable. Congratulations, Brian. Our next award goes to Kimberly Aspie Carla Esquivel and Andrea Calvo from Miami Lakes Educational Center for their proposal on introducing solar energy in South Florida as the main source of electricity to reduce greenhouse gases for Best Narrative. Still with our special merits, we have Sabrina Gonzalez, Stephanie Hanau, and Anna Maristani from Our Lady of Lourdes Academy for Save the Palm Trees for the most practical solution. We can still clap for them, even though they're not. Let's send them our energy. Good. Next we have Elena Watchter from Terra Environmental Research Institute for using gray water to allow the replenishment of the Biscayne Aquifer for best focus on a local South Florida issue. Congratulations. And our second place award goes to Christian Rosa and Osvaldo Orta from G. Holmes Braddock Senior High for their bat dwellings to ensure viable bat populations. This one was proposing different means such as outfalls to repopulate our local bat population. So come on up. Congratulations. And our first place winner for our environmental policy proposal goes to Nicole Variglio from Terra Environmental Research Institute for removing the chemical oxybenzone from sunscreen to help combat coral decline. Congratulations. I'm sure many of you know the state of Hawaii has limited the many chemicals that sunscreens that are being sold can include, and so we here are part of the southernmost reef tract on the Atlantic Ocean, and we should probably follow suit, so this was an excellent representation of issues that we should be aware of. Congratulations, really. Awesome. Challenge number 2. This one was our Petals and Pollinators challenge. This was our probably most scientifically artistic challenge that we had this year. Your students and your children were asked to research the evolution of flowers and their pollinators. So they had to understand the actual anatomy of plants and what mechanics allow pollinators to spread pollen from one flower to the next. With that understanding, they then had to create their own imaginary flower, an imaginary pollinator, and make a mixed media poster, and then also write up a whole little description of where they were found, the different adaptations that their flowers and their pollinators had. So even though they were beautiful, and I highly recommend you look at them, they're in the back corner over there, they're also this was a very scientifically rigorous project. So beautiful and scientific, and together they make art. And moving on to our special merits, let's rewind. We had 2 opportunities for our public to come and see this beautiful display of work. So we had one art exhibit here during the Chocolate Festival in January, and then one art display over at Blick that happened in the end of April, and we had a bunch of different raffles and fun, and so thanks to Blick for supporting us, and our winner will even receive a $25 gift certificate to Blick that can be shared with the group members or the art teacher, and however you're able to divide that up. So our first special merit goes to Andrea Flores from Alonzo and Tracy Morning Senior High for Best Narrative. Our next winner goes to the Enviro Knights from iMatter Preparatory Academy for the best use of mixed media. Congratulations. Let's clap again. Come on, congratulations. Our next special merit goes to Emma Bennett from Mast Academy for her scientific rigor. And oh so beautiful. Congratulations, Emma Bennett. Preschool. Our next special merit goes goes to Natalie Morales and Naomi Ortega from Miami Lakes Educational Center for overall artistry. Next special merit goes to Taylor Amor from Miami Sunset Senior High for most creative. Our second place winner for Petals and Pollinators went to Taha Akhtar from Robert Morgan Educational Center. Yes, we have a representative. Lovely. Congratulations. And our first place winner for Petals and Pollinators goes to Daniela Montestoca from Our Lady of Lourdes Academy for their beautiful, beautiful drawing. That's okay, we're still proud of you. Challenge number 3. This was our environmental debates. How many people here attended our environmental debates tournament? Yes! Looks like just the winners, but that's okay. We'll take it. So you guys came not only to our workshop that was held at the University of Miami and hosted by the University of Miami debate coach, who is very, very good and articulate and can explain parliamentary debate style much better than I ever could, because that was my first time hearing about it. But also we had our debate tournament in January, where all the schools who registered came and debated against one another to win our debate tournament, which is very different from what we have done in the past. So this year we actually announced a first and second place winner during that day, and then that's slightly different from previous years where those winners were not announced till today. That being said, this challenge is so, so important. We live in a time where, students' voices are being heard. It's you guys who are behind this movement of change, and that is stirring the pot, and we need that. We need that from you. And so for our environmental debates, this has become a powerful platform for you guys to be self-informed and for you to gain knowledge and argue environmental issues. This year we focused on a range of things, from local issues to state issues to national issues to global issues. That included, I wrote this down so I wouldn't get it wrong. You guys talked about amending ocean outfall legislation compliance plan to mandate counties to reuse 100% of wastewater flow by 2025. That's amazing, come on, applaud your students, that's incredible. The global issue that your students became well versed on was to require a universal moratorium to be placed on tar sands mining. How many of you guys know about tar sands mining? Probably the people who debated it. Well, I'm very proud of you. This is huge, so congratulations. Although our first and second place winners were announced that day, we were given, the judges did award special merits. So our special merits for that day go to Matios Tefer from Alonzo and Tracy Morning for the most impassioned argument. Are you here? No? Okay, still clapper. We have Kalindi Gosain from Alonzo and Tracy Morning for most creative argument. And we have Deetwin Smalley from Archimedean Upper Conservatory for most persuasive speaker. Congratulations. You can keep chanting, it's good. It's good. Very nice. Another round of applause. We have some more special merits for Ariana Avanitis from Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart for most consistent. Come on, I know you're here. Took the path less traveled, I like it. Congratulations, Carrollton. Congratulations, Ariana. Great job. Quite consistent, as they say. The next special merit goes to Christian Rosa from G. Holmes Braddock Senior High School for Best Use of Research. And another round of applause for Christian. They're just whispering about you. No, they're not. It's good. Our next special merit goes to Valeria Bula from Miami Lakes Educational Center for Best Points of Information. Our last special merit goes to Juan Formoso from South Plantation High School for the best rebuttal. Congratulations. And in case you did not know already, our second place award goes to Dorothy Darden and Kiara McCartney from Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart. Yes, come on. You wear many hats. Many hats. Artist, second place, special merits. That's all I got. Congratulations. And our first place team goes to Colton Justice and Juan Formoso from South Plantation High School. Congratulations. Another really big round of applause. The future is here. Challenge number 4. Green cuisine, a taste of variety. So for this challenge, your students and your children researched 2 crop varieties and had to determine which would be best to grow in space given the lack of resources such as space, the actual physical area, water, the limitations of growing without gravity, and then they had to create a vegetarian recipe. They presented their recipes and their dishes at our Green Cuisine event, which took place in March. And during this event, we had 2 different judging panels. So we had our roaming judges who awarded what we call Dish du Jour. Those were awarded at the actual event, and that was based on taste alone. Then we had our winners that were based on the presentation, and those were presentations that were given under the judging panel, and that was based on the amount of research and information they presented about their dish. So, that being said, special merits. We have Na Young Shin, Brittany Alvarez, Lauren Mohawk for their Galactic Garbanzos from Archimedean Upper Conservatory for Best Presentation and Quality of Research. Because sometimes you just need to eat chickpeas in space. That's why. Congratulations, guys. We're so proud of you. Our next special merit goes to Solange Acosta and Caroline Dessa for their Beatlicious chocolate cake from Coral Reef Senior High for most novel use of crop choice. Congratulations. Because sometimes you want to eat beets and chocolate cake, so you just eat them at the same time. Why not? It's Beatlicious. Congratulations. Our next special merit goes to the Eco Knights for their intergalactic Swiss chard of root vegetable tartare from iMatter Preparatory Academy for most technically impressive recipe. Congratulations, ladies. Our Our next special merit goes to Vegan Tides, the Vegan Way Galaxy Dessert from Miami Beach Senior High for most creative use of ingredients. They said, vegetarian, I will one-up you and make a vegan dish. And then we'll keep talking about it because it's vegan. Congratulations. Our next special merit goes to Alia Puglia for her Napa Cabbage Spring Rolls from Robert Morgan Educational Center for most informative presentation. Congratulations. Our second place dish du jour, dish of the day, goes to the Eco Knights for their intergalactic Swiss chard of root vegetable tartare. But you already knew that. And our first place dish du jour goes to Adrina Macedo and Ariana Casanova for their super strong broccoli pizza. Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart, just start walking for the dish du jour first place. Susie, you're making him do all the work. Congratulations. Our second place winner for that day goes to Thomas Packard and Andres Frazetta for the Rad Dish Thai Style from Christopher Columbus. Congratulations, gentlemen. The actual dish was a radish. It was rad. See what they did there? Very clever. And our first place winners for Green Cuisine goes to Vijay Rathore and Melanie Perez for their mung bean dal with spinach and naan from Matter Academy Lakes. Congratulations. I'm going to hand the mic over to Barbara. I know you're very sad, but I will be just over there. So if you want to say hi, that's where I'll be. And we're going to move on with our award ceremony.
How's everybody doing tonight? Nice, I like that. We're well halfway done until we announce the big prize winners of our schools, but we're going to continue with challenge number 5, which is our Shade Our Schools. Now this challenge, there's a lot of pieces for this challenge. This started last year as a collaboration with the Nature Conservancy, and it started in elementary school. And what we were trying to find out is we were trying to figure out how shade trees reduce the heat island effect in our cities. That was also joined this year with one of our other citizen science projects, our Blizzards on the Loose, which Dr. James Stroud will talk to you guys in a little bit. But what we did for this particular part, we offered one of those Saturday workshops that our teachers love so much, where they get a chance to come here, and we gave them resources to identify common South Florida shade trees, birds and lizards, and the researchers explained how each step of the challenge should be carried out. We also, because of the donation of the Nature Conservancy, we were able to give out some binoculars to the teachers so they can go back and do point counts, the most widely used scientific method for surveying bird populations. And so educators were asked to measure the trees, use the binoculars, conduct the survey, and then they were also looking at our lizards and recording their observations through iNaturalist. We have 22 schools compete in this particular challenge, and so we're going to go into first our field journal, which was the product after doing all these bird counts and collecting all this data and uploading these photos to iNaturalist. The teachers helped their students collect these field journals that they then turned into us, and that's what we judged. And so we're going to look at some of the special merits and award winners for these field journals. Our first special merit goes to G. Holmes Braddock for their overall artistry. Special merit winners and our overall first and second place will receive a little gift for them to take back. Again, thanks to the Nature Conservancy, which we have some high-grade binoculars to continue their bird watching, a bird field guide, and some picturing. Congratulations, guys. Our next special merit goes to Medical Academy of Science and Technology for their biodiversity focus on their field journal. Here you can see a little example. Our next special merit goes to Miami Palmetto Senior High School for best reflections in their field journal. So coming up, Miami Palmetto. And again, some binoculars for you to continue your bird watch. For the other part of our project, I would like to have Dr. James Stroud come on up and present his Lizards on the Loose project, and he'll tell you a little bit more about that.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming and thank you for hosting me today. I'm just here representing the Lizard project, but I'm one of a few of us that are organising this project. It's the first time we've ever run it for high school students. How many people here partook in it this year? And did you all use iNaturalist okay? Because a lot of teachers, a lot of older people really struggled with it. But all the students found it okay, right? So it was spectacular. It was a completely new feature of the project we did. And if anything, it was too successful because it completely messed up the whole website on iNaturalist. There were so many submissions for brown anoles, the most common lizard we see in Miami, that they didn't know what was going on and they thought it was a bug in the system. So then we had to write in and we had to tell them that no, everyone was just far too productive and too effective at the project, which was incredible. What's up? Oh, thanks. So we have one special merit which is really unbelievable. So one of the students here, Nathan Campbell, came to the teacher training event, the teacher and student training event. And as he was wandering around outside, he took this photo of a lizard eating another lizard. That's the really obvious bit. What was spectacular when he came back is that this is an adult male Puerto Rican crested anole, and this is a baby, which is cannibalism. We never knew that existed. There's 10,000 lizards outside in the gardens, but I'd never seen that in 6 years. So I was very excited when we came back, and we wrote this up and sent it off, and it actually got published in a journal. Whoop. Sorry about that. This is why they don't invite me to cool things. In a journal called Herpetological Review, which is a really, really nerdy journal for people that like lizards. But what's spectacular is this publication wasn't just in a magazine or anything. This was in an international peer-reviewed journal. So scientists read this note, and it wasn't just me. I didn't think it was cool. Other people read this note, and other people thought that this was such an amazing discovery, it warranted publication, and other people needed to know about it. So it was a really spectacular breakthrough in the project, something that we'd never really thought was, we didn't plan on it, right? But it was really incredible. I'm very, very proud of it. So I think one of the teachers here, right?
Yeah, Nathan's at a basketball game.
Oh, right. He's serious with lizards. So that's that. We can give a huge round of applause just for Nathan in his absence and wish him the best of luck in winning the game. So yeah, this was a really, really spectacular part of the project, and we were thrilled about it. It was great. So next up we have the prizes for the videos. So some of you made video summaries at the end of the research season and summarised what you found. So in second place with the Viewers' Choice Awards, which are all on our YouTube channel, by the way. So you can go onto the Fairchild Challenge YouTube site and watch all of these videos. They're fantastic. I've watched every single one of them because I love lizards. Our comedian Upper Conservatory wins the second place award. We don't have any binoculars to give you because that's the bird project, but we have much cooler animals. And they get a trophy. Who wants binoculars? You know? Congratulations, guys. Well done. And the big one. First place for the Shadar School's Lizards on the Loose video goes to Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart. System winners, congratulations. I mean, this screenshot doesn't have a lizard in it. But, I mean, it's okay. More lizards the better, really. I mean, that's what we're giving points for. Congratulations, guys. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
Challenge was so big, we took into consideration not only the data that the students submitted, the information that they put in on iNaturalist, and the field journals that we received. We had to give overall award, taking all of that into consideration, and so we have our second place overall winner for Shadar Schools goes to Hialeah Miami Lakes Senior High. So congratulations to them, and you can see the beautiful work that they put into their field journal, their observations, their writings, their sketches, their labels, so they did an amazing job. And our first place overall Shadar Schools winner is Terra Environmental Research Institute. Because not only were they first place, but Leanna Brew, their teacher, was featured at Nat Geo blog as the teacher of the week for her project, for their students' project. So big hand out to her and her students. Our next challenge, I'd like to invite Marian Litzinger, the program manager for our Growing Beyond Earth, and she'll tell you about this exciting project.
Good evening. I'm glad you're all here, and I'm also sure you're glad the school year is almost over. Not only the students, the teachers as well. So now our Growing Beyond Earth challenge. Amy mentioned already at the beginning, it's a project in cooperation with NASA. And the data we are collecting as schools, as interns, is extremely important. When those NASA scientists come here to visit, for example at the symposium, they were talking to the students, but they were also looking at other projects which are getting done, not by the Fairchild Challenge students, but by other schools. And they are amazed. They are taking the ideas, your ideas, as a think tank. Oh, we could think about that. Oh, what kind of light did they use? What kind of sensor was this? So they are actually asking us. Because after a while you're living in your own little world and you can't think outside the box anymore. And that's what they want you to do for them. Think and bring in new ideas. So for this challenge number 6, for high school, we provided at the beginning of the year your teachers with all the materials you would need to do this challenge. This is one of those workshops again where your teachers are spending another Saturday at Fairchild to get trained and receive all the materials. They have also the opportunity to speak to the scientists. And this year for high school, we had also high school students invited to this workshop. The teacher could assign a lead student and bring him or her to the workshop. We'll probably do that again next year, and I really want you to take the opportunity to bring a student with you to this workshop. After the project was done, we tested 12 different Asian leafy greens under different photo periods. We asked the high school students to come up with their own proposal. They should change one variable and then submit this proposal to us. We were checking through them and gave some suggestions, but most of them were really, really good. And those proposals were then executed after winter break. This year, for the first time as well, we offered Vistaprint to the teachers and students to print their posters, and you will see some very, very professional posters back there, which is the first time, and the scientists, when they came, they were really amazed. So now it's getting a little bit complicated, because this poster and the group was judged several times. First, we had a group of judges judging the posters for content. This is now, for the poster, the first special merit, and it goes to Allison Academy for their novel approach to experiment. The next special merit goes to Coral Reef Senior High for the individual work. It was one student who did everything, which is amazing. It's a lot of work. We had another special merit for Jose Martin Bass for the overall visual presentation. And for Robert Morgan Educational Center for the creative experimental concept.
Let's get another round of applause.
Now we're getting to the second place of the poster. We're still with the posters here, which goes to G. Holmes Braddock Senior High School. And the first place winner is Mater Academy Links. Now these are the posters. And then we had a second session at the Youth Symposium where we asked the students to come in. Thank you. At the Youth Symposium where we asked the students to come in because we had scientists from NASA here at the Garden House, as you can see. And they were walking around talking to your students, and they were actually looking at the presentation, at the teamwork, at the background information the students were able to provide. And they were really impressed. We had even somebody here from DC who told us how important this research is. So, and we need that because we need more grant money, right? So, for the symposium presentations, we have a special merit for the unique and innovative research. For Hialeah High School, Dagoberto Fontes and Marinelas Rodriguez. And we have another special merit for creative problem solving for José Martinez 9-12 Academy, Alejandra Beltran, Daniel Carlos, and Elizabeth Beringer. Now our second place winner for the presentation, I have to make that clear because it's really complicated, goes to Barbara Goldman Senior High School, Frances Parent, Sanai Anderson, Ashley Fleites, and Laura Machado. Yeah, coming. Yes, those students are not getting medals because they got the awards already at the symposium, but we didn't have any certificates for them, so today they get the certificates. Okay, and our first place goes to Miami Killian. Cedric Williams, Catherine Medina, Megan Good, Angelica Castillo. Congratulations, ladies. Now, like in the previous challenge, we have an overall winner. We took into consideration, has been a long day, the poster results, the symposium results, the proposal, the data, the tweets. We looked at all of that and we came up with overall winners. Because this was such an amazing job and it was so much work, we really appreciate that you were putting in for that. So we have a second place tie between Mater Academy Lakes and Barbara Goldman Senior High. Okay, and the first place, the last winner for the Growing Beyond Earth this year is Miami Killian Senior High School. So we hope to see you all back for Growing Beyond Earth next year. It is really a fun experience. And some of you students will be interns, so I hope to see them back.
Thank you. Thank you, Marianne. As she said, this project will continue next year, so we hope that all of the schools that participated will continue this on, and those of you who didn't get a chance to participate this year will take it on next year. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding, and as Marian mentioned, and Amy, this is real research that's going to really authentic information that is feeding to the NASA scientists. Our last challenge was also another very important citizen science project, which is our Million Orchid Project. How many of you here are familiar with our Million Orchid Project? Ah, good, not too many. We want to know by the end of today, of course, all of you will know our Million Orchid Project, which is Fairchild's initiative to propagate and reintroduce native orchids into our South Florida landscape. We have successfully grown tens of thousands of these often temperamental plants thanks to the students that have been taking care of them. And over the past 4 years, students participating in the Fairchild Challenge have been instrumental in refining the propagation techniques to maximize the orchid growth and productivity. However, as the number of reintroduced orchids grow, because we have all of these students growing them at their school, it's increasingly important to determine the optimal outdoor growing condition for each species. So this year, we asked schools to plant native orchids in different locations around their school and track their growth, survivorship, and flowering periods. They collected data after they came to our workshop where they received, again, another one of those wonderful Saturday workshops that your school, your teachers attended. They got the native orchids. We were working this year with Bletia purpurea and the data collection protocols. Now, they collected data throughout the years. We had 26 schools compete overall. But we also wanted to give an opportunity to those schools that weren't able to come to the workshop or that didn't get a chance this year to participate in the data collection of the Million Orchid Project. So we asked our teachers to look at our Million Orchid species, which we highlighted 6 of them, where I think we're now up to 9, I want to say 8. But we chose 6, and we asked the students to research their native habitat and to create a beautiful illustration showing us one of those 6 species in their native habitat. So here are our winners for our illustrations, our orchid illustrations. Our first special merit goes to Hialeah Garden Senior High for the creative artistry. Our next special merit goes to Northeast High School, Eileen Collins for originality in style. And if you get a chance, at the end, the orchid illustrations are right behind over there, and you can see there's a variety of different orchid species that were highlighted. Congratulations. Our next special merit goes to Robert Morgan Educational Center, to Ashley Castaneda for the composition. And you can see the colors just are so bright. Congratulations to Robert Morgan. Our next special merit goes to South Miami Senior High School, Megan Warnack, for outstanding botanical representation. The judges, I can tell you, had a really hard time choosing the winners because they were some spectacular illustrations. So congratulations, Megan. Our second place winner was Allison John from Miami Palmetto Senior High School. Can anybody guess what orchid she highlighted? Amy knows it. And our first place winner for orchid illustration goes to Catherine Solflo from Carrollton Senior School of the Sacred Heart. Get in your steps. And as we've mentioned previously, with these challenges that were really extensive, that took a lot of time, we definitely wanted to take into consideration the work that the students have done. Not only did they have to collect data through our Google Sheets, not only did they have to do an orchid illustration, but they also had to tweet about how their orchids were doing, where they were, or send us Instagram pictures. So we took all of that information. We looked at all of their overall scores, and of course, we have some overall winners. Our second place Million Orchid Project overall winner goes to Northeast High School. Surprise!
Congratulations.
And our first place winner is Carrollton School of the Sacred Heart. The awards for our individual challenges. Now is where we give some stuff away. So schools that have been participating and receive the Fairchild Challenge Award for either 5, 10, and now because we're in our 16th year, 15 consecutive years, that means throughout all of the year, they've collected points, and the school was able to accrue over 1,000 points throughout, like I said, 5, 10, or 15 years. Schools get a banner to go back to their school, and they become our Fairchild Challenge Schools of Excellence. And this year, we want to highlight a couple of schools receiving their 5-year banner. We'd like to have Barbara Goldman Senior High School and Christy Steps come on up to get your banners. Maybe you need bigger arms. And of course, we'd like to invite Miami-Killian Senior High to receive their 15-year banner as a School of Excellence for the Fairchild Challenge. Congratulations. Let's give a big round of applause to these schools. And of course, Miami-Killian, 15 years. Amazing.
All 15.
Big round of applause. For this year, the schools that were able to accrue over 1,000 points are receiving our Fairchild Challenge Award, which are very nice framed certificates. So we're going to start in alphabetical order with Christy Steps, Dr. Michael M. Kropp, Northeast High School, Our Lady of Lourdes, and South Miami Senior High on our first group. If we can have a representative from these schools come up. We love to go to schools and we see these framed certificates in the office or in their awards cabinet, and it's always great to us. We're really proud of the work that your students do. Now, Well, we're about to announce our top 16 schools that will receive cash prizes. Our first 10 schools will receive the Bronze Award with a check for $500 to go back to their school for their environmental initiatives. In alphabetical order, our Bronze Award recipients are Barbara Goldman, Christopher Columbus, Hialeah Gardens, Hialeah Miami Lakes, I Matter, Matter Academy Lakes, Miami Senior High, Miami Killian, Robert Morgan, and Tara. Please come and see Amy so she can give you your check, and then go see Stacy to get your frame certificate. And we're going to take first a group picture with our Bronze Award winners. And I'm going to help Amy.
Smiley faces. You should be proud. All right. Another big round of applause for our bronze winners.
All right, we want to take a group pic at the end, so we're going to ask you guys to kind of stick around here in the front for a second. Our next group of winners are our Silver Award winners with a check for $750. Go to Archimedean, Coral Reef, G. Holmes Braddock, Jose Marti Mast, and Miami Palmetto. Every program that we offer, we give all of the materials to the schools to participate, and that is because it's important to level the playing field and make sure that everyone has the
abilities to play along